Hello, welcome to episode 17 of Small Potatoes.
Show where we talk about the inconsequential tidbits of life.
Remember, it's all fun and games until someone cares. We don't, so it's all fun and games.
We're rolling.
So here's the chain of events.
Hello?
We all get together.
That's not our intro.
Yeah,
Sing the theme song. Sing the theme song.
And yes, she's annoying. Give it to me. What's it called?
What's the name of the show?
Ooh, we are in person. We are live. Fuck it. We are live.
I was holding my breath that entire time.
I was muting it.
Yeah.
Plus, we can cut that out.
I
if
was
you need to.
scared.
You're holding your breath the whole time.
Holding my breath.
We are here together. I can do shit.
We're rolling.
We got this fancy platform with a lot of buttons.
Ooh.
And we got these microphones, and we're all in the same room, and that's what you hear now, currently.
Hey, Trevor, tell a joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Me at your new
Doxed.
apartment. Haha, classic.
Classic.
Doxed.
Oh, you did
true.
just dox me, bitch.
Good thing we got that button, too.
Fuck.
All right,
Here's your
yeah.
exact location. What street are we on? Fuck.
Welcome to.
This is Small Potatoes, guys. We normally talk about things that happened during the week that were small.
We kind of get all the news stories from the week and condense them and kind of deliver them to you for like a half hour in a British accent every Sunday night.
Today in history, if you will.
That's kind of how we do things here on HBO.
Okay, so who wants to go first with a potato?
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Let's jump right in. Do it.
I'll go first.
Do it.
Do
it.
Okay, I'll go first with a very nice intro, easy to understand small potato. And that's proper Brita etiquette.
Okay, we've discussed the Brita problem before in the pod, so let's dive in.
This is a completely different, this is etiquette of the Brita. You can believe that your Brita should be put in the freezer, the refrigerator, the cupboard. It doesn't matter.
Who's putting the Brita in the freezer?
Didn't come to argue this. I came to say that it is a huge small potato, a very large
that you
small
don't
potato.
want to argue.
That I don't want to
The
argue.
main premise of the show is arguing over small potatoes. You don't want to argue.
Didn't come
this
today
I would
to
say
argue.
it's more discussion than just arguing.
Yeah.
one. Fair enough.
And here's what it is. It's
Mean combative discussion.
There it is.
All right, go ahead.
when you go to fill up your water and there's no water in the Brita.
The Brita is empty.
It's empty
Mhm.
because somebody doesn't understand that when you pour, you fill. You fill and you pour and you pour and you fill.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. Every time.
Mhm.
I don't care every time, or else you run into that issue because enough times where you get lazy. You get lazy, and then all of a sudden someone's fucked because now they have to refill and they have to wait for it to go all the way back down just so they can fill up their own glass. But guess what? When they fill up their own glass, now it's empty again. So you fucked everybody up. And I know that you disagree. Go ahead.
Who are you pointing to?
To you, Spencer.
Thank you. Yeah, I do disagree because it depends. It depends on the size of your Brita. If you have a big ass Brita, there is no need for me to refill after I pour
Yeah, that
it
thing's
out.
unlimited. That
8
thing's
ounces.
bottomless if it's big enough.
No,
it's a bottomless Brita.
My Brita is fucking huge.
Yes, but you're even more fucked with a big Brita. It happened to me the other day. And
At
I was
my house?
pissed. No, not at your house. It's somebody else's house. I won't say who they are.
Is it it's not mine, is it?
Is it your own house?
Okay. You
It's a
implied
listener.
that like
It's a listener. The listener
is
will
at my house.
actually. This person does listen to the podcast, so they will know
Call him out. You don't want to call him out.
him or her.
There it is.
You just said it. But we put the button over it. We're still figuring out the button thing. All right.
I'm drinking a margarita with the longest straw.
Spencer,
I don't
Everything
have
is
fucking
metal.
shorter
Everything is-
straws.
look, we're here-
everything's
metal
metal,
here.
baby.
we're here at Spencer's house, and he was kind enough to make us drinks, host us, have this nice office space for us. Yet, when he brought the drinks out, they're in the loudest metal containers possible with metal
Doc,
straws
dinner's ready.
and stone coasters. Not even like a cork coaster, a stone coaster. Of course, it's made of
Because
rocks.
he's rocks guy.
I'm a rock
Rock
guy.
guy.
This is who I
It
am.
is pretty cool.
All natural
These are the
guys.
loudest
They're
fucking
geodes.
drinks.
It's really cool. They're like flat geodes. What are they actually?
They're agate, actually, not geodes.
Can you say that? I guess
But
we can say
thank
that
you.
in this house, huh?
We can. Fuck. I'm still learning.
House full of agates.
Okay, so look, it's just basically like it's simple, guys. Fill it up when you pour it. Like every time, you're never gonna run into the problem. Are you telling me, Spencer?
Wait,
that
you fill it up every time you
Every single time he pours
pour.
1 cup of water,
I
he
fill it
goes
back
to
up.
the sink.
I
And
replace
fills
it.
it
What if
up
it's like-
again.
What if it's like 90% full still? You
Thank
just
you.
depleted 10% of 100%. You're at 90.
He's
You're
gonna
filling
fill
it back up. You're filling up the 10%.
No, I fill up exactly how much I took away. It's like
Right.
every time
That
you
was
poop,
what I
you
said.
wipe.
Math. That's excessive.
Thank you.
I agree with your small potato in spirit because
not
it's like
excessive. Then you
never
never
let
run
it
into.
empty, but that's overboard.
Do
That's
you
a
never
lot.
run into the problem though?
Of course I do. Everyone does.
No, if you use my technique, the proper Brita etiquette.
Well, yeah, but then you lose the comfort of the Brita because the Brita's whole point is like it's a thing full of water that you can use to dispense,
Easily
and
accessible.
easy
Yeah.
accessible. But if you have to fill up every time, you might as well like get.
But it's
don't know the alternative
It's
to a
no
Brita,
longer
but, like-
easily accessible when somebody has to fill it up and it's empty. It's the most.
Do you
nuisance.
when you drive your car? Do you fill up the amount of gas you used
Every time.
every trip?
Every time.
single time.
Do you not?
Do you charge your phone when it's at 90
Every
up
time.
back up to 100?
It's currently charging right now,
That's a lot. That's a lot to handle. That's a lot to deal with.
but I will never run into an issue
Live
ever
on the
again.
edge a little.
Anthony's
Never.
100 all the time.
I've been burned too many times.
I think that you should fill up your Brita less, but not never, obviously. Like
Obviously.
I think if it's gonna affect another person, be courteous.
But-
I think if you're under like quarter tank, I think that's kind of like the standard for like driving cars. If you're at a quarter Brita, then you refill. But otherwise,
Okay, but if it ever happens,
Mhm.
has it ever happened to you?
Of course it has.
And were you upset or were you just like, all right,
I was
whatever,
upset at me, at myself for
For
not
letting it happen?
filling it.
For-
Yeah.
for being too vain to fill it up?
It's not
Yeah.
that we're vain, it's we're busy, Anthony.
I got shit to do.
I can't sit.
It takes
and
2 seconds.
fill
Also,
things
it's worth noting that
all day.
okay, my water drinkage throughout the day is fill up once in the morning. That lasts me all day. Now, fill up once for night, and I'm back at the Brita 3 times that night to fill up. And so I'm not going to refill the Brita when I'm sleepy and it's nighttime and I'm just getting up to like gulp water. But
But if you aren't careful, because we're ready, that happens. And then in the morning, you're like, fuck, I'm late.
it's in the
I'm late to
morning, too.
work.
Yeah.
Fill a whole
I
hydro
wish I hadn't
flask
drinking
up.
that whole gallon of water last night.
And now you drank a whole gallon of water the night before. You filled up a 32-inch ounce hydro flask. You fill that whole water container up, and now you're fucked because now you don't have a massive Brita. It can't fit that much.
No.
This was not meant to argue. This was meant to just be like,
Well,
this is
you
what it
proposed
is.
something
you just
pretty
wanted
radical.
us to agree with
You had a radical
wanted
opinion
everybody to
about the
agree.
Brita
You wanted
filter.
me to just be like, yes, Anthony, great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
End of
Yes.
end of show. Episode over.
Yes.
Good night, guys. Anthony's
Moving
right.
on. Fine. Be done with mine.
Look,
I'm sure
I
everyone else
agree
agrees
with you
me.
in spirit. Make sure it's always filled.
But
Never let it empty.
the excessiveness.
But the excessiveness of filling it every time you use it, the whole convenience of the Brita is every 5 to 10 fills, depending on the size of your Brita, that you have to refill. But if there's enough to fill, let's say, a hydro flask with what's left, then you're in the clear. Then you're fine. You're
But then
safe.
you'll get cocky.
Sure, but
At what point was Samson no longer a superhero? The second his hair got cut. Not shaved. It wasn't like I was like, hey, if you go to a 3, you're fucked. No, it's like, don't cut the hair or else you're done. Don't one time miss or you're done.
The dead-eye expression in Trevor's face makes me think that he doesn't know who you're talking about at
yeah,
all.
he's the strong guy with the hair. He has hair and is strong from the hair, and his name's Samson, and
Yeah.
he's a Bible guy. That's the extent of the story, and based on context, I can assume that he got cocky and lost his hair and lost his hero-ness because that's how it goes. That's how stories go.
Botching the beautiful love story between Samson
There's a girl too. Well,
and
of course,
Delilah.
there's a girl.
Delilah
Delilah
cuts his hair.
fucked him over.
No. He realized that the love of a woman was better than the power of God.
Power of God.
And then she moved to New York City, and he cut his hair. Is that what happened?
And then he sang a really depressing
She
song.
cut his hair.
Oh, she cut his hair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he was so sad when she left, because no one could cut his hair better. This is a weird Bible story, you guys. I'm not following.
He let her in. She was a temptation, I think.
Oh, so it's like an anti-women story.
It kind of sounds.
Yes.
It is very
So
much.
it's like
that,
men
yeah.
don't have long hair like ladies because they break your
No.
heart.
No, I think it was don't let a lady take away your power. It's terrible.
That makes more sense. That sounds like what the Plain White Tees were singing
I'm
about.
just saying the Brita's kind of correlated to this story. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. No, I see the direct connection.
We all agree. That's fine. We all agree we can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're all in agreement. Sure.
This reminds me, Anthony, I'm just going to pivot. Something that you told me. Anthony's drinking habits of specifically
Anthony,
water.
this is an intervention.
Is that why I'm sitting in the middle?
Yeah.
We care about you, and we're struggling because you're struggling.
Notice how I didn't say drinking problem. I said
Habits.
drinking
Habits. You were nice about it. Go
And
ahead.
you mentioned water at the last second. What?
Specifically, when it comes to water, is he only drinks water when his life literally depends on it. Like,
Yeah.
he won't drink water all day, and then it's time to drink 32 ounces
I remember
of
being
water
12.
straight.
Not understanding nutrition.
So I think that's why the Brita problem is so bad for you, is because you are literally dying
Yeah.
and you have to wait for it
Yeah.
to fill.
Yeah,
I don't
see,
have time.
See, me, a normal hydrated person,
Mhm.
I just see, it's empty. Okay, I'll just wait because I'm not.
I'm gonna get water again in an hour. Like I drink all day, like a normal person should.
I'm not too busy to fill up a Brita, but I am too busy to drink water like 6 times a day. What are you supposed to drink? 8 ounces of water a day? That's crazy.
I think they upped it.
I think
Since when?
by now they did.
The new update came out, and now it's like,
I haven't up.
now our systems.
I don't
need
have
more
enough
water.
space on my phone for the update.
Yeah,
It says
well,
you need more water.
Yeah. New software update on people,
But
and
there's.
more water needed.
I thought they were saying we're out of water.
I know that's the great conundrum of our generation. We need more water. Every year, the scientists come out and go, actually, we need more water, and there's less of it now since we last mentioned water.
Okay, who else has a other small potato?
I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So my small potato is more of just like something that I hope you guys do too, or maybe I'm just an asshole. But going to an ice cream parlor, an ice cream shop,
Okay.
and knowing in your mind that you are going to get chocolate ice cream with cookie dough, with a basic, topping. However, you go to the parlor and you go, I want to try at least 4 flavors. And you try them all, and then you say, delicious. Give me chocolate.
In theory, I respect that idea, and sometimes I might just do one.
Mm.
But I just feel too bad because I'm like, they know. They've seen me before. He said, "Hey, Anthony," as I walked in.
Back for some chocolate?
And I said, "Actually, I'm going to try Neapolitan. And then I'm going to order chocolate." See, I couldn't do 4.
4, yeah. Sometimes there's like a sorbet that's new that I want to try. I want to just try all the new flavors, but I never want.
My
Too
whole
much.
thing is I'm walking in knowing I'm getting cookies and cream. That's my go-to, cookies and cream always. If it has an Oreo like TM in the title, even fucking better. Then you got those Oreos chunks. But when I go for the samples, I am in the back of my mind hoping I'm convinced otherwise, Like I'm hoping I find a better flavor. And sometimes it happens. Like what's the Thrifties had that like Cookie Monster cookie thing, and it was like blue. I live in a place where they have Thrifties.
Docs.
Too late.
And that button is so delayed.
I know. I just try to secretly do it.
But yes, I want to be convinced of a new flavor. Rarely am. I'm usually getting that Oreo cookies and cream, but I'm testing out of hopefulness, out of optimism. Like maybe someone new will catch my eye. So
You know, I like the way you said that. I'm going to steal that. That's what I do too, actually. No longer am I the asshole that
You
just,
steal ideas too.
that just tries things.
Hoping to
I
be
now
convinced
am
of something new.
an optimist.
Hey, Ben or Jerry, hit us up for a Small Potatoes collab.
Or Hagen, or Dawes. I know that they're not really getting along nowadays.
Or Briar or Dryer.
Or Mr. Stone.
Briar and Dryer. What's up with that? Hey, what's up with that?
Come on, guys.
Can we talk about why there's a Briars and a Dryers?
And also, are there any women that make ice cream?
Where are the girl boss ice cream sellers?
Seriously.
Anything more on that ice cream subject?
No, that was it. I just wanted to profess that I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have-
No, I
Do you
mostly
think
agree
potato?
with you.
Do you think potato flavored ice cream would be like what the fuck? Because like you know how like mashed potatoes look like ice
Yes,
cream.
Yeah.
Let's
in
just talk
ads.
about like
Oh,
whoa,
but branding.
I'll tell a quick story now that you just said that.
cold
Sure.
potato.
One
ice cream?
time for April Fool's Day, I came home to beautiful ice cream displayed on the counter. I was probably in 3rd grade.
April
You-
1st.
hmm
You said it was April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
Okay.
Okay.
And there was 4 cups for me and my 3 other siblings.
Wait, this was like the kitchen's empty, and there's just a bowl of ice cream sitting.
There are 4 different ice cream like bowls
Yeah,
You
waiting
but like
for
no,
us.
no people around though.
My mom is there
okay.
also.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Hey, we have ice cream."
You dummy.
Oh my.
And
goodness.
I've never been more excited in my life. I was like
after school,
a 2nd grader.
before dinner.
Yeah. Oh my
Are
god.
you kidding me?
Amazing. And I took like the biggest bite of what looked like vanilla ice cream. And it was the most disappointing thing when it was frozen mashed potatoes going into my mouth that were not even salty.
Oh, they
It
were
was-
frozen too.
Yeah.
How odd.
Non-salted.
Non-salted. It was
Okay, story on top
Very
of your
upsetting.
story.
Yeah.
It was not April Fool's Day. It was just at a diner, and I got a stack of pancakes, as you do when you're like 8, and the pancakes are just bigger than your head. And there was a ball of butter on the top of on top of the stack. And my kid brain went, "How awesome! They got this ball of whipped cream." And I put the whole thing in my mouth, the whole like ice cream scoop of butter in my mouth, and I throw up all over my
Ew.
pancakes, all over my pancakes. And and for years, I've been slowly doing work to undo this trauma. But for years, whenever pancakes were served to me with butter on top, I scoop the butter off. I'm not putting butter. Like I'm getting rid of the butter. Get the fuck off my
You don't
pancakes.
butter your pancakes?
I don't butter my pancakes. Lately, I have been like
As an
been
adult.
working through things with my
Mhm.
therapist, and like slowly I've been buttering pancakes more and more. But
That's
for
some
like
trauma.
a good decade, I was traumatized by butter on pancakes.
So, story on top of a story on top of a story.
It's a little rude, but okay.
When I was little, remember being so excited to get a ice cream cone from McDonald's, and I was really happy about it. And we're driving away through the the parking lot, and my mom decides Doxed. to go over the speed bump.
You just
at
dox
really-
yourself for having a mother?
at a really fast speed. And as soon as I was eating the ice cream cone, went straight up my nose,
Oof.
sniffed at the same time, ice cream
Mm.
immediately into the brain, simultaneously as much serotonin as well as brain freeze,
Yeah.
as well as anger and upset, and just all of this just flash of things that happened to me. And me too. Been going to a therapist, haven't had an ice cream cone since.
Yeah. Shit
It's
fucks
been a
with you.
struggle. Recently been dabbling with drumsticks. I don't know if guys have heard of those things.
With the nuts?
Yes.
Sometimes.
And sometimes they got the chocolate on. Oh my God, drumsticks there's a whole thing about drumsticks, guys. It's crazy. You can never find a pack of drumsticks, just so you know. You can never find a pack of drumsticks where it will give you a chocolate one, a one filled with caramel, and a vanilla. So a vanilla filled with caramel and a vanilla filled with fudge. You'll always only get plain vanilla ones, which are gross. You want the one filled with caramel or the chocolate one?
Do
You don't-
you have like a brand recommendation or
No, like all of them,
Drumstick.
all
What?
drumsticks.
is it it's drumstick?
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
that's
it's
the
Nestle.
brand. Yeah.
To be honest, I think it's Nestle.
It is. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it sucks. But like, there is no combination that you can get where you win. You always get stuck with just the plain vanilla one, and it is the worst. But yeah, therapy, will help you. It'll help you get through your ice cream cone issues or your butter. What happened to
Fake
you?
butter.
Like,
Your potato.
Mashed
By the way, Ben
potatoes.
or Jerry, hit us up.
basically any ice cream looking food, ice cream or not, if it looks like ice cream, it probably traumatized you as a kid or traumatized one of us.
All I want to say is it just better be ice cream next time.
It better
No
be
story?
ice cream.
But sour cream.
Does not look like ice cream.
Sometimes I've had a dollop. Have you ever been to a fancy place where they got a little dollop?
Looks like Cool Whip. Yeah.
It's a Cool Whip.
There we go.
Cool Whip. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Cool Whip. Are you a treat? Are you a mayo or like a butter? Like what? What are you?
Cool Whip is like a mayo?
They advertise it like put us on your turkey sandwiches, but also
Cool Whip?
we're ice cream. Also, I know.
Cool Whip?
I'm saying that's what the
You
commercials do.
haven't-
No, the commercials.
No, they don't.
No, when I see Cool Whip commercials and they're putting it on bread, they're putting Cool Whip on bread, and I'm going, isn't that like for like ice cream and like dessert stuff? Like why? They advertise it as a mayonnaise substitute, and it just isn't.
Imagine mixing your tuna with Cool Whip.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, don't try to trick us into putting it on our sandwiches. It's not a sandwich food. But the ads are like, you can use it for everything, all kinds of food. No, it's fucking whipped cream, but a little different.
Yeah, what is the difference? It's whipped cream. Is it
It's cooler.
It doesn't come out of a can. There you go.
Oh shit.
Only
It's always
difference.
like in like a little tub.
Tub, yeah.
So,
like mayonnaise.
I'm getting cream without the whippets. What's the fun?
Yeah, without the little aerosol high.
Not as
Yeah.
much fun. Not at all.
Squirt. You know how, dude, you remember being a kid and squirting that thing up?
And getting
your
high
parents
off
are always your
nitrous.
parents are like, hey, no, you have to be fully upside down to do it because you hear all that
You're
air,
inhaling.
you're ruining it. You're gonna get high.
Also ruining your brain.
Yeah.
Ruining your brain. I wonder how much we did ruin our brains from just whipped cream. Like, could we have solved?
I feel like the
Something.
sugar was more detrimental than the actual aerosol.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't
It's a
know.
lot of fucking
Like,
sugar.
a society all put aerosol straight into their brains just for sugar sensation.
Yeah.
So like, who knows, dude?
I don't.
Maybe we would have robots fighting by now. Sorry, it's the metal cups that Spencer gave us.
By the way, we talked about robots fighting a long time ago, like many episodes ago, and we completely forgot about the existence of BattleBots, which is a television show that's been on for like 10 years where robots fight each other. And I got a lot of DMs and messages of people being like, how did you guys talk about robots fighting for like 20 minutes and not mention BattleBots, the hit TV series? And so to all those people, I am sorry.
Wait, what is BattleBots?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I've never heard of BattleBots.
Okay, well, I feel like less bad that we weren't all dumb. It was just me. It's a show where people design robots and they're in a little cage match and they're like, remember?
I
there was
feel
like
like I've
there was like an
seen this.
iCarly episode
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
there was. Yeah.
That was BattleBots, or maybe it was like an off-brand BattleBots because it was like Nickelodeon, like had to do like Mountain Fizz, like off-brand stuff.
So like
but-
when I'm thinking about robots, I'm thinking like humanoid robots.
right,
But
which would be
is
a
it-
much better show. No, these are like little guys like on wheels. Yeah.
Or what, like that. I don't remember the name of the movie, but the movie where like the boxers are now robots.
Real Steel, dude.
Real
Real
Steel.
Steel. We were talking about that the other week too.
That's what it is.
Wow, we are repeating. Does anybody have a new
Sorry.
small potato?
I do.
Talk about?
I do. So there are basically two buttons on a vacuum, right? You're shaking your head already. Already you're disagreeing with me on such a simple premise.
I'm keep going.
There
I'm
are two buttons on a vacuum.
Just so everyone knows, Spencer is at the edge of his chair, quite literally, just ready to disagree with
Ready to
Trevor.
pounce.
I don't want to disagree with you,
Okay,
Trevor.
look. There's
But he
two
already disagreed.
Just saying,
main
like,
buttons on a vacuum.
what the
There's
fuck?
the power button
Sure.
and the button that releases the like dust trap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you have a fancy vacuum, there might be more, but those are the two buttons.
Yeah, what about the
Or
Bluetooth
less.
player button?
The speaker,
Yeah, hold on, keep going.
the share button.
Yeah, go to story
So,
or to post.
My small potato is why if there's two buttons, am I still always pressing the wrong button? I've had my vacuum for 2-3 years. I know what its features are. I know the two buttons, yet every time I go to turn it on, I'm opening the dust trap and pissing myself off.
I have never held a vacuum where the dust trap thing is so easy to press. Does it open?
Yeah, wait, what?
I think I just like
I'm
overthink
always
it.
like jiggling the vacuum like so hard.
Well, luckily it doesn't like open and explode, but it'll like release, and I'm like, oh nope, not that one. Oh,
So-
go back, put it back on.
While you're saying the small potato about pressing the wrong button, I definitely think that my issue with pressing the wrong button with a vacuum is normally when I'm trying to tilt it so it can get into that tilt position instead of the 90-degree position.
Mhm.
That's where I fuck up and I turn it on. The real small potato in this whole thing is what Spencer just said, where you're trying to fucking open the dust trap and it doesn't open, and then you shake it too hard, fucking explodes.
And then you have to revacuum.
And you
Yeah.
gotta re-vacuum. Yeah, I don't have time to drink water. You think I have time to re-vacuum? Are you kidding me?
Vacuum
and now
twice.
I have to get like multi-purpose cleaner and clean my countertop because now there's dust
That's
everywhere
fucking everywhere.
and you're
Yeah.
sneezing.
Yeah.
And then when you sneeze, and your tissue is just black because there's just dust in the air now. That's I think I feel stronger towards what that is, even though
fine. Derail
with
my whole
yours-
fucking
Only
thing.
because
Thanks, Spencer.
there are so many different types of vacuums. Like my vacuum, for example, has a lever for that feature
Mm.
of opening it up. And it's always on. I just have to press a little thing for it to go.
trigger, you mean?
Yeah, a trigger.
We got a cool trigger.
Yeah.
Whoa,
You've
trigger vacuum.
literally used my vacuum.
I have.
Okay.
I forgot. I remember now.
Well, I don't have a trigger. I have a button, and a little bit lower is the other button that releases the container. Is it a dust trap? Is that what it's called?
Sure. No. I think you're thinking of like a lint trap, which is in a dryer.
Right.
I think it's a
Dust bag.
Dust bag?
A dirt bag. It's a dirt bag.
dirt bag. Really?
Yet somehow I always overthink it and hit the lower button. When in my brain I know it's the upper button.
Yeah, it's
like why would it be the
obviously-
lower one? But I'm always hitting the wrong buttons on my vacuums, and that's my small potato.
Have you ever thought of labeling the buttons? Or they already labeled?
Yeah, let me just go buy a label maker.
You don't have a label maker in your backpack?
Ugh.
You came over, you were like, hey, Spencer, how do we figure out which mic is whose? And we were like, I don't know, just follow the cord. And you
Or
were like,
names
what
on
about this trusty label maker that I always bring around everywhere I
shit.
go?
You know, and I had the label maker today for that example, but I hadn't thought about it for my household items. That's my on the go label maker, and I don't have a house label maker for my
So
household
yeah,
items.
you should
So
apologize
you
for
need to-
lying.
But so now you need to buy a new one though.
So I have to
for
buy
your
a
household
second
ones,
label
'cause
maker.
you
Yeah,
can't
you gotta have
use the
you gotta have a
same label
to-go
maker.
label maker and a home label maker. Maybe I can get a bigger one too, like printer sized.
That's just a
Printer size.
No longer
yeah,
is it
wait,
a label
wait.
maker.
So a printer size label maker
my
is a
to-go,
printer.
well, my to-go one, and I can't believe I forgot about it. Like as I was explaining this, but my to-go label maker is tiny. It's like kind of a calculator sized, and so it's kind of on the go, just little labels. Nothing more than a sentence.
Mm,
You know,
mhm.
like boobies.
I don't have a huge character.
I heart boobies.
I don't have a huge character choice on the mini one, but if I got a home one with a full keyboard and like lasers and other features,
Yeah.
colored labels maybe.
You could even do like pictures, like JPEG pictures.
Whoa, photographs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even do one of those kinds
You
of
could
things.
laminate.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just sounding more and more
Like a printer.
like a damn printer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Trevor,
it's-
get a printer.
but you peel off that
But-
little
yeah,
plastic
and
and
you
you get a
stick
little
it.
sticky and
Yeah.
it's there forever.
Ooh.
Organization, baby.
Small
Mm.
potato time. Number 3, 4 for the day.
I don't know.
After you've used a label maker and you are ready to place the label onto something, all of a sudden you realize that you just cut your nails the day before and you can't
Can't
for
get
the
them- get
life
separate.
of you separate.
Those little plastic bits.
And then you end up just folding the whole thing and it like bends the whole like label.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're like, I fucked up the label. So now when I put it on, there's gonna be a crease halfway through it because I tried to fold it out. Didn't work.
Don't
That's
worry,
upsetting.
Anthony. This label maker has 40 feet of labels available at a time. So I got your back. I can just reprint that shit. Don't even worry. Got you.
Because there's so much paper.
There's so much label in that label maker.
I'm glad. All right,
Yeah.
cool. I'm cool. We
Yeah.
solved it. I guess.
Solved it. All right. So vacuums are no longer a problem for me. I'll just use one of my many label makers that I have. Does anyone else have a small
that
potato?
was derail. Started with 0. Now you have many. Wow.
Yeah, but we solved the problem.
There-
Well, no, I
just-
had the one. I just kind of forgot about
Right.
it.
Oh, right.
Because yes, and
Spencer?
Is it me? What are you
I've
saying?
just declared
I could
you
go
to be the
again.
one
Oh, I
with
could
no
go
one's
again.
ready.
No,
I know. I
just have
want
to
Spencer to go.
hold
Relax.
this up.
I'll respect the roto
The what?
rotation.
Gosh, this guy. Zaw.
I've never used that term in my life.
We specifically have different memories because
both of us
Yeah,
remember you being
Spencer-
like,
Then I was definitely saying
dude.
it ironically.
because the earnestness of your voice of being like, why aren't we all saying za? It sounds cool. It's easier. It's shorter. Everybody
I
should be
do agree
using the
with
word
that. I'm
za.
just saying you're just misquoting me.
Mm.
Like as you say that, I'm like, you're right. We should say za. It starts with a Z. That's fun.
So then why are you arguing this then?
Because you're misquoting me and you're like trying to change history, like the cops in 1984. You're just like, oh, you said this happened when it's false. It's a falsehood, and you're
Dude, we'll let
policing the
we'll let
past.
the people decide. They'll decide. The people listening, they'll know.
They're not gonna. They have no say in what goes on here.
They'll know
They'll
the
write it.
facts of what
Tweet it.
happened. Mm-hmm.
Tweet it if you believe it.
Alrighty. I'll do my small potato now.
Okay, cool.
And this is more of like a throwback to our original podcast idea of
That never aired.
that never aired. Yeah, of what's it called, guys?
Guys, we've been making podcasts for decades, and we just never aired them.
Yeah, which one are you talking about? Dogs Are Us?
that
That was a good one. Are you talking about that one?
I wish I was. I do have another small potato that I
Are
can
you
bring
talking
up
about
later for
people
that.
who suck, where we just list people who suck?
That,
that
one
podcast
didn't
was
air
fun.
for a good reason.
Yeah, it was fun, but
We
bad
pissed off the
content.
wrong people, though.
Also, we weren't naming famous people. We were naming people in our lives.
They just kept
Bad
naming
content.
me over and over again, and I was so fucking confused.
Spencer sucks. Spencer's the worst. And he was there. He was there for every episode.
Every episode. Couldn't interject ever.
it was a
No,
live
but
audience.
you're talking about what's it called?
What's it called?
Our
Um,
proto small potato.
Yeah. And so I want to know what it is called when you do that little, I want to call it a fake slump, when somebody's getting up to go get something and they're like, oh, like, let me get you your drink. And you're like, oh, no, I'll get it. And
Pretend to get up.
you like pretend to get up. And then when they're like, no, like, I'll do it. I got it. And you're like, okay. And then you, like,
Yeah.
do like the,
You never intended to get up. Not once.
as if you are now comfortable resting and
Yeah.
you weren't
Like,
before.
oh, I was going to help you, but you just moved so fast.
Yeah.
You beat me to the kitchen when I barely left the couch.
When my ass literally never left the seat,
Yeah.
I just perked up a little bit. I sat up straight for a second.
I would call that entire moment tension with no intention.
I like that a lot.
That was some good wordplay.
Because you have no intention of doing whatever it is the activity is. Going to click the light, helping someone grab something.
But
pick
you tell
something
your
up.
body, like, act like it, but don't
Mhm.
really.
But there's tension in the air because you're like, who's going to give up first? Am I actually going to have to do it? Or is it fine? At what point am I going to release and be like, it's fine?
Mhm. Your muscles tense up because you are
This just happened
Almost
in the elevator yesterday to me. I was with a friend and we were moving furniture for no reason. We were bored. And we were stopping. We were like going to a certain floor, but it stopped halfway. And we were like, fuck. Someone's going to come in here. But we have things. We have furniture because we're bored. So we're like, he looks over at me. He goes, I'm going to make it look like we have no space in here. But he says it really loud. And it's like a very like cheap elevator too.
hear them
And
probably
the
from
elevator,
the ground.
elevator opens and there's a guy who also has stuff. And he looks at my friend and goes, you just take the next one. And my friend, in the most disingenuous way, went, oh, you sure? Oh, you sure? In the most disingenuous way. And the guy was like, yeah, whatever.
Disingenuous?
Yeah, disingenuous? Disingenuous?
Sound smarter when we're talking into microphones, please.
I don't know. Disingenuous. Is it really?
I
Oh,
think so.
shit. You learn something every day. Yeah, it was so sad because he was just like, you sure?
The guy looks at you like, clearly
It was-
you're not
It was
asking if I'm sure.
palpable that he did not mean, you sure? He did not have any. Plus, he probably heard before the elevator opened that he said, I'm going to make it look like we have no room in here. So tension with no intention.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, write that down.
Scribe.
You just did a little writing thing, just to in the air.
Fucking don't tell them that.
How did
God,
you?
he's the worst
Yeah, dude,
secretary.
that was fast. Oh,
Boom.
you're left-handed. That's so weird.
Can you at least be right-handed, in
If for this
the fantasy
pantomime
world?
situation,
Could you be
Fantasy
normal?
pantomime. Here we
You'd
go.
not be of the devil.
I don't even know how to I don't know how to write right-handed. That feels uncomfortable.
it looks better. I'll tell you that.
Anthony, do you want to go or may I?
You can go. I have something, but you can go.
No, you go. Respect the rotation. I can't
Okay, so
abbreviate anything.
this is
nowadays.
like this doesn't have to be too long. It's a slight story though.
Oh, take your time.
Medium length. I changed my mind. So this is kind of a piggyback off of a early, deep in the files, deep down small potatoes
Yeah,
episode.
deep in the Small Potatoes
long
lore.
ago. Yeah, about walking behind somebody, and they're just so slow.
Yeah.
This happened to me. I was at IKEA yesterday, and IKEA is just crazy. It's the only thing. If you've never been to IKEA, just think Disneyland, but instead of roller coasters, laminate tabletops and
Yeah.
stuff. Just laminate everything.
Everything's laminated.
Lots of labels.
Getting hard on for lamination.
So many miles of laminate.
So I'm at IKEA, and I'm walking around, and you follow this lane path, and me and my girlfriend end up behind these two really, really slow people. And I'm talking slow, like they have nowhere to be. So my girlfriend and I are like, we got to get around these people, but she ends up getting stuck behind them because they do this weird, they trapped her and cornered her into unknowingly. By the way, they're just looking at lamination everywhere. Unknowingly, they trapped her. So we had to get her out. I was like, come on, let's go.
It's like a rescue mission.
Trying to, how you try to do it, but you don't try to have them know that
Of course.
you've
they've-
been inconvenienced.
Yeah,
They've caused the problem,
It's called a
yeah.
stealth rescue mission.
It was so stealthy. Dude, you should have seen it. She slipped through them, and between that and a laminated plant so well. It was beautiful. Anyways, we're on a mission. We're looking for a couple things. We're going through, and every time we get back into the lane, they end up in front of us again. And it's they are going so slow. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, are we this slow? Just so that we end up just in front and behind them every time?
It sounds like you're going basically the same speed as them.
Yeah. So I kind of had this moment to myself where I was thinking, why do I try to beat these people when I'm just going to end up behind them anyways, and they're going to get in front of me no matter where I go and how I try to slip through and not have them know that I'm trying to slip through.
That's half the problem with modern traffic, I think.
It's so annoying.
The car kind, not the IKEA kind.
And to you two masses of people, just know that was upsetting and annoying, but it's okay. We moved on. We passed them. We eventually, what I wanted to do is I skipped 3 whole sections just to be we are definitely not in the
We
same
don't
place
need
anymore.
curtains. Fuck it. Let's go.
I feel like, Anthony, you just had a mini existential crisis.
Oh, yeah.
inside
Yeah,
of
it sounded like it was
IKEA,
getting there, a little bit.
where you
Fuck
realize,
it, why try?
Yeah, why
It
try
was
at all?
no, because
We're all just here.
every time I came back,
We're all just stuck in IKEA.
every time I came back, they were there. And it was to the point where I'm looking
Those are your
at,
demons,
I'm
Anthony.
looking at my girlfriend, I'm oh my God. Yeah, dude. And they didn't buy anything. They didn't even leave the aisle too. They just
How do you know
walked.
they didn't buy anything? You don't buy anything till the end. Buy all this shit at the
I
end.
told you I was behind them the whole time.
Did you follow them to the warehouse?
We even drove home together. So it was after traffic, and I was after rush hour, but we were still just
Right behind them.
putting along.
Yeah, just stuck behind their
That's why I had a real crisis.
slow ass vehicle.
But yeah, that was it. That was that. Just
Yeah.
sometimes you're just gonna have to just take the L and
Fuck
just
it.
be fuck it, yeah. Or cut through. And there's sometimes a little section in IKEA where you're skip from section 14 to 64.
Love the
Just like
shortcuts. Oh yeah.
Out of 100 fucking
Stop.
fucking metal.
Drink from straight out of it.
Bottom. I'm getting to the bottom. I will.
There you go.
It was actually crazy though. Because you can figure there's a whole nother path. It's the secret path that they always talk about in Disneyland, like underground stuff like that. IKEA is the same thing. You go from the laminate mattresses to the laminated toilets.
Little
just like
fun
that.
fact about IKEA: there is no age limit for the kids section, so you could just hang out in that ball pit all day long while your friends shop.
I'm
This
sorry.
is true.
There's a ball pit?
There's a ball pit?
There's a your parents loved you and they brought you with them, but my parents dropped me off at the
Wait,
there's like a
ball
kids
pit?
daycare. There's like a kids daycare at
IKEA?
IKEA. Yeah. So your parents can be
What?
like, we don't want to deal with your bullshit while we try to go shopping for your bedroom. So we're gonna drop you off at this fucking daycare in IKEA at the entrance. And there's a ball pit and some like slides and shit, and probably some like gross
How-
stuffed animals.
How fucking Swedish of them to provide that. For,
Childcare? Yeah, right.
to provide childcare.
You might have had
for
to pay. I'm not
families.
really sure, but yeah, I guess it depends how you look at it. Whether your parents loved you if they dropped you off, or loved you if they brought them with you.
Here's
But
the
my
thing.
parents wanted to
My
get
parents
the
just-
fuck away from me, so they dropped me off.
Left me at home.
Yeah, see,
Here's a
I didn't have a ball pit at home, unlike you, Spencer.
Yeah, right.
while we're on the
So-
IKEA topic, here's a pause potato.
Please.
IKEA's shopping carts. They are the ultimate drift machines. You can drift as much as you want because all the wheels go all the ways,
Yeah, totally.
and
They
you just
don't
drift
squeak.
everywhere you go.
And they're Swedish again, so they're efficient, and they get rid of the squeaky ones and the misshapen ones, and you only have prime Tokyo drifting shopping carts at that lovely place.
They are
And
really fun.
get
Like it's
me
a
started on the meatballs. We don't even have to talk about the meatballs because it's
Yeah,
a
we don't.
given that they're so good.
yeah.
Okay, we
agree,
can talk about. Actually, we
agree.
could talk about them. That was just more of a
Both of
dramatic
us
No,
statement.
we no, we don't have to
Yeah.
talk about it because we agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, cool,
agree.
We
cool,
agree.
This
Good.
is us agreeing with you.
Wow,
Period.
that feels good. I'm not getting all tingly. This is wonderful. All right, I have a small potato.
Okay.
That I'm gonna say right now. Wait, right now.
Now.
I'm gonna say it. Okay, at restaurants, when you're at a restaurant, there's a process. All I guess Americans, maybe even it goes beyond that. But everyone knows that you sit down, you wait a second, then they get your drink order, and then you wait a second, you get your drinks, and then you wait a second, and then you get your food order, and then you get your food. Who decided that? Why is it done that way? Why do we get drinks first and then your food? Spencer has a scientific explanation for us all.
Capitalist pigs designed
on.
it that way.
Go on.
Because they ask you, hey, would you like an alcoholic beverage right now? And you're like, hell yeah, I want one.
Mhm.
And you get your martini, I don't know. You're at a very fancy
Yeah.
place. So you get a martini.
Well, this was like invented in the 50s probably,
Right.
so everyone was drinking martinis.
You get
I
your
still do.
martini.
Did people stop at one
Yeah,
point?
we all stopped. I don't know if you heard.
Oh, you guys are drinking water. I didn't update.
Yeah, we're drinking a lot of water, and you are dehydrated on those dirty martinis.
There's water in them.
Are you lightheaded a lot? Is that the problem you have?
I get dizzy.
You're just drinking olive
Dizzy when I
juice and
stand?
vodka and no water.
No, I get I don't like olive.
Spencer, tell me
Yes.
what's up with
you
restaurants.
get your drink,
Mhm.
and then you are already like halfway done with your drink
Yeah,
before they even put your order in.
totally.
And then by the time you get it, you need a new drink.
Need another drink.
It's their way of getting you to get more drinks.
Yeah, yeah.
Scum.
Fuck them. But also, 2 drinks is
Two-
better than 1.
Gotta get them bottomless fries. Gotta
I
get some
don't
apps.
mind getting more. And the apps. Like, yeah, apps are definitely a capitalist invention, but thank God. Who doesn't love apps?
And then if you eat at like an Italian restaurant,
Mhm.
I've only experienced this at Italian restaurants.
What if you live at one?
you might live at one? I know people that might. Anyway, if you go to an Italian restaurant, you get like probably 3 drinks, and then you get coffee afterwards, of course.
Yeah, coffee's a thing. Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
you get a dessert drink afterwards. So you drink.
Well, the
Sober
Italians
up,
eat.
drink.
They make going to dinner a whole evening. Like it's
yeah.
not just like hour in, you're out, or hour in and out. You're in, you there for an hour and you're out. That works.
Jesus.
But you're there like all weekend. Like
Right.
and they bring you food the whole time. Like they're not trying to trick you. They're bringing you drinks and food from the moment you sit down.
There is already a bread basket on the table.
There's fucking
before
a
I
plate
said.
of hot lasagna for like the first course that you didn't even order because they do like courses before you order.
The very nice general manager usually comes around to all the tables and goes, "Do you need something?" I can't do it. That was more French than anything.
Honestly, I wouldn't have noticed.
You know, the worst thing about
Do you need
when
something?
the bread is
Would you like some
offered for you, it's like
Mhm.
already there. And they come by and they're like, "Oh, we gotta give you some butter because you need butter with your bread."
Obviously.
Delicious, and the butter is freezing cold,
Rock hard.
Well,
It's
not at a
rock
good Italian
hard,
restaurant.
and you're like, "Yo,
Maybe at like
can you heat this in
Flame
the
Jumper.
microwave, please?"
Let it sit out.
You let it sit out and nothing. Then your bread gets cold,
Yeah.
and then everything's just cold. And you can't. Only one person gets to really enjoy the butter. Whoever put enough work into swiping it so many
well, and
times,
that's a
Great
test
whipping up their
of
bread.
self-discipline because you have to wait until your butter has warmed up before you can spread it. So you just kind of have to sit there and stare at the bread and wait for the butter to melt. But that shit's gonna take a while.
Sometimes I put the butter in my hand.
Yeah, that works. Put it under my ass.
That works.
Anyway, I feel like this might be getting too big potatoes, Trevor. You're very
Italian culture.
No, you're very seemingly small potato.
What did I start with? The restaurant thing.
The restaurant, like
Yeah.
who decided that order?
Yeah,
of
I just
things?
feel like it's arbitrary, but now that you mention it, it probably is capitalism. And god damn it, if every small potato doesn't end with either capitalism or climate change, I'm quitting the show.
Yeah.
Why is everything so predetermined in this world?
We
It's
can-
scary.
Yeah.
But that's my small potato. Thanks for indulging me. Not you guys, the listeners.
Mhm.
You guys have to indulge.
Yeah, we
because
just work here.
you can't just leave.
Mhm.
I'm here with my friend.